Oh my God, are we live?
We're
You
live. Hello,
must
everybody. Happy Thursday. That's how I choose every show, by saying happy the day that it is. Does that make sense? No.
No, but it helps me remember what day it is. Because what is
It
time?
does.
It's Thursday.
Yeah.
Not quite Friday.
Friday almost. It is our monthly Near Men Collective show. How is everybody doing?
I'm not well lit, is what I'm doing. I'm doing all right otherwise, though.
I thought you were lit AF, but
You're always lit, right?
That was such a
I will
setup.
say that
So I do have this.
currently,
So
unlike most shows that we do, I have consumed a lot of amaretto before the show. I'm a little wasted. A little bit.
little wasted.
A little bit.
Night drinking.
Oh, here.
Join me on a Friday and I can drink, but not. Oh man.
Yeah, I gotta go in the office tomorrow. It's cool,
Yeah, no.
guys.
It's totally fine.
It's cool.
Fine, no problems. Here, I'll just
Our
catch
office
up.
is so busy tomorrow. Too many patients.
Oh.
How is everybody? It's been a month since we've done a
Has it really been a month?
well, a little bit less.
Yeah.
But basically.
It is actually. Oh yeah. Hey, forewarning, my camera has a mind of its own. It's gonna.
There's
I
a
love
ghost.
that.
It's a ghost.
Yeah.
I love that.
We talked about this a little bit last time, and it's probably going to do it even more tonight because I'm going to like set up some lights while I'm moving, and
I
as
think
I move
that's
around, it
fine.
tries to follow me. But
Hello. It's nice to see you as well.
I like the little bit of slur in your voice, Maddie.
Okay.
It's really
Listen,
nice.
I thought I was convincing, personally.
it was.
But Tina knows me too well.
Well, I also say things without really thinking things through. Like, not to get into it, but like somebody came in with a significant droop to their eye, and I was just like, I just did my thing, and I was like, oh yeah, I see why you're here. And they're like, really, is it that
Wow.
obvious? And I'm like, oh, you did it again. You did the thing, and you just stated the obvious.
I thought for a second you were talking about now, and I was like, what?
No, at work.
Oh yeah. What's wrong with
Somebody
my
comes
eye?
into this chat, you just know. Like, wow.
Just know right away.
I just know. I'm like, oh, hey, I'm psychic about eye conditions.
Hey, everybody joining us.
Hello.
Hey.
Okay, so James, I have not opened Comixology to get today, and I'm very worried about it. So
Did it happen today?
Yeah, so Comixology is finally like merged with the Amazon website, and there's been a lot of like talk over the past week or two about how that's going to look.
Mhm.
And some people are very worried because the options as far as reading them are limited. So like before, we could very easily do like have the 2 pages be full screen, which for some comics makes sense because it is crossed across the 2 pages, like big splash pages and things like that. So I don't really know what it looks like yet, but I'm very scared.
They're probably going to try to really amp up the compatibility or make it like very Kindle friendly.
Which makes sense, but at the same time, like I don't know what I'm looking into today. So I haven't looked today. I've only been on like Webtoons today as far as reading anything. So we'll see when I get bored at work tomorrow, which will inevitably happen.
My goodness.
Nobody work watches this. It's fine. I will open Comixology then and see how it goes.
Let us know how it goes.
What's up, gang? Man, Andrew, every time I see you, I want to grow my hair out again.
Josh, do it. Do it.
There's no time like now.
This is the first time I've ever had long hair in my years in life, and it's pretty fun.
So,
is this
Andrew,
supposed to be believable?
What?
You like did the little like you? That's not the first time you've ever had long hair.
Oh no! I was trying to cover up how old I am because vanity and all.
Oh, okay.
So, Andrew, you've
been
been watching Fox Machina. You now
Yes.
are now that you basically look like Matt Mercer. Now that you've seen different NPC characters look like Matt Mercer.
Yep.
Do you now understand? Because as NPCs will
Yes.
show up, they'll look like Matt Mercer, and they're you.
Yes. I understand it now. Yeah. So I had never. Again, in my years of life, I'm of near mint condition age. Let's just put it out there right now. I'm 43. Okay.
That's not that old.
I did not know you were 43.
Yeah.
You do not seem to be that age.
I know. I'm a lot younger than you think.
Yeah.
And so I had never played. I'd never played D&D before,
Yeah.
and so up until quarantine started, right? I'd always
Yeah.
had friends that did it, and I was like, oh, I want to get into that, and I just like never made the step to do it. And then I got into it once quarantine started for COVID 2 years ago, and so because I'd never been into it before, I'd never seen Critical Role. I
Yeah.
didn't really. I mean, I knew what it was, but that was it. Yeah, now I get it. Everybody, I start growing my hair out, and everybody's like, "Oh, you're pulling off a Matt Mercer,
All right,
huh?"
Matt
And I'm
Mercer.
like, "Sure am." Who's this Matt Mercer guy?
He's a very handsome man.
He's pretty cool. He's pretty cool. I gotta say.
Oh, here's Rob. Hello, Rob.
Hey,
I
A new
thought you were in a
challenger has
bar.
entered.
Hello, hello.
is that a faux background or
I
is that
thought
a
you
real
were at a
background?
bar, Rob.
Hold on, I can barely hear you guys.
Oh.
Computers.
Computers and all. You should probably like talk to somebody who knows something about tech support.
You'd think 20 years of IT, I would figure out how to use a
Yeah.
computer, but that's not the case,
For
apparently.
anybody who doesn't know, this is how I actually met Rob. 20 years? It was 20 years ago.
20 years ago, dude. Yeah.
20 years ago.
Guys, do you know what
2002?
do you know what I was doing 20 years ago?
No, let's not.
You were in grade school.
Were you even in double digits?
I was.
We're
I
up near
was.
mid-condition age. We're babies.
Yeah, we already went through that. You just missed it.
Hello, Rob. How are you?
I'm doing all right. And how are you guys doing?
Good.
Doing good.
Doing fantastic.
Apparently already people are enjoying my level of intoxication. If Matt doesn't want to read in the comments or read the contents, should start writing tongue twisters in the comments. Please don't. Listen, guys. I thought it'd be a good idea to have a lot of amaretto sours. Now, have I had 4/5 of the amaretto bottle already? Yes. I'm doing great. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm very articulate.
This is not Near Mint Collective After Dark.
It
Although
might
that
as
should
well
be
be.
true.
It's after
I mean,
9 o'clock on a Thursday.
That's true. That's true. But we are on YouTube, so.
We should do After Dark. Okay, I fixed my audio. Yay.
Hey, there we go.
Got it. I can hear you now.
James, what is Maddie's real job? Wrong answers only. I can tell you that I have a master's in security and intelligence work.
Ooh.
Am I a spy? Who knows?
Don't tell me, because then you'd have to kill me.
Who knows?
And I don't want to be killed.
Yeah, please don't. So I don't know. I'm sorry I come in late. Who is drinking what? Who is drinking what?
I'm having amaretto sour. Andrew's drinking an IPA of some sort.
From Stone Brewery.
Okay, what's Stone Brewery? Where's that?
What you got, Tina?
It's coffee. It's just coffee. I'm straight laced.
Kofifi. Say it correctly, please. Kofifi.
No.
Because
All right.
Still Black History Month, so I'm drinking fresh bourbon. Do you all know what this is?
No.
Okay,
Oh, is that the one you talked
Is
about
it
last
fresh?
month from the first, the Black On Brewery in Kentucky, or is that something different?
So this is similar to what you're talking about.
Okay.
So there's two folks, Sean and Tia. They are awesome, folks of the community, and they wanted to brew their own bourbon in Lexington, Kentucky. And the brand they came up with is fresh. Now let's see if I can pull this up like this. So you kind of see in the background a silhouette of distinguished African American men and women drinking bourbon. So that's their bottle, and this is actually really good stuff. So I'm wishing the best for them. A distiller here in Lexington, we can be proud of it. And what's cool about this, it actually tastes yummy. So that's what I'm drinking in my.
Are you drinking it straight or with a mixer?
I'm going to drink it straight because we're in Kentucky. I have one ice cube.
Again, like we've discussed, I have yet to find the bourbon for me. Right, I've yet to develop the taste. So we have to have a hangout.
Yes.
Which I.
So Maddie, what I want us to do.
Sample.
Yeah, this is what I want us to do, Maddie. I want us to hang out, have some video games in the background, and I want to have all these bourbons and all these mixers. I want to find the thing that will make you happy. That's what I want to do.
I would love that. Plus, at the same time, we can do our video game videos, which I want to do anyways.
Yes.
Like our most anticipated or our favorite video games of said genre, et cetera, et cetera. Plus, I mean, we really missed out talking about the Nintendo program recently, right? Nintendo Direct, because we have a lot to talk about.
Yep.
As far as Earthbound finally coming to Switch, and our Chrono Cross remaster.
Chrono Cross remastered. Yeah.
with Radical Dreamers, which is a big deal.
So-
I've cosplayed Kid from Chrono Cross. I'm very excited. And I've never played Radical Dreamers.
So Radical Dreamers, as we speak, is on this cartridge because the hackers got a hold of the Japanese version, fan translated it, and you can load it onto a Satellaview like little cartridge. So
yeah.
the last thing I had on here, it was BS Zelda, and then the last thing I put on here is Radical Dreamers. And I went through some of it, but like, you know, it's hard to play a text-based adventure in my
Naturally.
limited time when I have other things I need to play. But like, that's what's on this
Absolutely.
cartridge right now. And when I saw Radical Dreamers, like, really? That's what they're
I'm
doing?
very excited because I've been a Chrono Cross fan for a long time again. Cosplay Kid.
Yep.
I do cry every time the song from Chrono Cross is played. So I'm very excited for that. Even though like it won't change much.
No, but yeah. So yeah, they did on their Twitter feed, they showed this is the original, because you can switch between
I've
the
been
original
following.
models and the
Did you notice
HD
it's
models.
called the Twitter account is called Chrono Game and not Chrono Cross.
Interesting. Or Chrono Cross is taking one of the two, right? But yeah, the HD model and the original model look very similar to me. Like I had to zoom in, I had to
It's
enhance.
not a huge difference. The only difference is that like you can skip battles, which is not a big deal because you can already walk around the enemies. And 2, you can speed up the battle, which honestly, every time you remaster an old RPG, make it so you can move faster.
Yeah, speed up battles, skip random encounters if you want to. Like I'm all about that. Sure, absolutely. But I'm one of the guys, I like to grind, so I want to fight everything. But like if you can make it fast, then I'm cool. Right?
Yes, all the Final Fantasy remasters is perfect. Andrew's camera's freaking me out.
Yeah, like sometimes it's kind of fun, and sometimes it's really
it.
annoying.
I love it.
The whole thing.
I like the ghost.
I'm gonna get something. I'm gonna get a prop. Just a moment.
Yeah, it tries to detect faces, so it always freaks me out when it's like, "Hey, I see something over there," and I'm like, "What the fuck is over there? I don't know. What is that? What is that? That's not a face. What are you telling me is over there?"
There's a cat draft.
Bomberman. I would like to play Bomberman because apparently one of the new Bombermans you can play as like the main character from Suikoden 2.
They have a 4-person Bomberman at round 1 up in Louisville.
Ooh, okay. There's a few things I want us to do as a crew. 1, I want us all to go to round 1 and maybe film it. 2, I would like for the 4 of us to play Heave Ho after I watch the video of it.
Yes.
Oh
Did
my
you
God.
love that playthrough with like Wade and Markiplier?
Yeah.
Because you were like, what should I watch? I was like, oh, here's this, and then there's Heave Ho if you really want to laugh.
Andrew, you've got to play Heave Ho. We got to play it together.
Tell me about Heave Ho. What is it? I don't know it.
So basically, you have like 4 people. They just have your arms, no legs. But you can all hold on to each other or on the spaces that you're climbing on, and you can like swing around the spaces. But you'll have to like hold on to each other as like a rope.
Oh my God.
And I think that the 4 of us could play Heave Ho, and I think it would be fairly interesting.
I dig it. All right.
This is what I want to show. Chrono Cross.
I have that as well.
Yep. And the other thing that you said, Maddie, that I thought was very interesting was you were talking about Earthbound and Earthbound 0, or I think it's called Beginnings. And everyone was wanting Mother 3. Everyone wants Mother 3. Well,
yeah, which I mean, at this point, just emulate it and put it on anything you own.
I have the real Mother here. Can you see this?
Yeah,
the real Mother.
It is.
Right.
But it's real.
Okay, Coraline.
It's real, but like as much as I want Nintendo, hello Kitty. As much as I want Nintendo to release like Mother 3 officially, no offense, go to starman.net, download the ROM, put it on a flash cart, and you have Mother 3. And the English translation, they actually just revised it, which is funny. They revised it the other day. I should have put on my Nintendo shirt. They revised it the other day to help with some translations and things like that. It's even better than it was like last year. So like,
and if you were to do that, we're not saying like you go out and do that, but if you wanted to, this is how somebody might.
Right.
Yeah. And again, like I'm legit because I have the game. The game's in here. So like I'm not a pirate.
I would say there are certain games that it is okay to pirate if it is not available to you.
Yeah, exactly. You cannot go to a 3DS eShop, a Wii U
This is
eShop.
where we should just go to Dan. Where's Dan in this?
Well, and just like for the next, you have a year to access the 3DS like online shop before that is completely unavailable to you.
Really?
So
Yes.
if it is financially able for you to purchase those games that will soon be unavailable to you, then great. If it is not, rob it. You know, at this point, do
Seems
what you gotta do.
seems smart to me.
I'm very much a proponent. Like, obviously I work in video games, so I'm very much of like, don't be a pirate, don't steal. Like,
Yes,
you
absolutely.
literally are not feeding my children when you steal our game.
Well,
right?
and
Like,
especially to indie or like smaller company
yes.
games.
Yeah.
Like
Our
my
little company,
friend.
there's like 13 of us. We're small. Please don't steal our game.
Yeah, yeah.
But like things like Earthbound, like Mother 3,
You're
that's
fine.
been in limbo for 20 years and not translated and no chance of buying it any other means. If you can buy something via another means, do it. Support the publishers and
Absolutely.
developers, feed their babies so they can like do things like live streams. But if it's not there,
Well,
go
yeah,
to
like
Starman.net,
my
get the
friend
translation.
found me over at Toke Productions Indonesia. Like every time a new game of his comes out, I buy it. Luckily, that is readily available to me. Were it not to be, I would find a way around that, either to like pirate it and then like purchase an item from his game, like a promotional item, or otherwise.
I
There's
have
ways.
done the thing where I've pirated a game, felt bad, then saw it was available, like Moon, for example. Moon is a
Yeah.
great RPG. Like Toby Fox, creator of Undertale, like Moon and Live Alive, some of these old
Which,
Japanese RPGs.
Man, are you super stoked we're getting Live Alive? Because
Dude, like,
I've never
I saw
played
this.
it.
I saw this and I was like, there's no way that's what they because like I
I'm
was working at the same time when the
stoked.
direct was on. And I saw Live Alive. I was like, I saw that wrong. My glasses were twisted. Like, that's not what
I'm
they said.
very excited.
Yeah. So like these old games that I may have pirated in the past, now that they're going to be available, I'm like, buy. Here's the money that you were entitled anyway. Please take my money. Thank you for translating this. And if you guys don't know what Live Alive is,
it looks like a Saga Frontier kind of deal. You know what I mean?
Think Chrono Cross. I actually think Chrono Trigger, Saga. Yeah, that's a good approach. Those two like can collaborate together. That's what it is. Also, multiple scenarios turn into one big thing, and yeah, it's really good. There's a fan translation, but now you don't have to worry about the fan translation. You can actually play the game. You can play the game.
Real thing.
All right, now Andrew, please go back to his question.
Oh yeah. Let's go back to that. Where was that again? There we go. Yeah. So this is our homework for tonight.
Okay.
I don't have a handle. I need a handle.
Yeah.
I am taking suggestions. I'm not guaranteeing that I'm going to use whatever is given here, but
yeah,
I could use some suggestions.
Do you want something alliterative or something else? Because I have the option to choose something that like with alliteration or to go with Wondermatic, right? So
right.
You have options.
Yeah, I don't know. I am not. It doesn't have to be alliterative. Let's put it that way. I'm open to alliterative for sure, especially if I don't have to say alliterative a whole bunch. Please don't make it alliterative, Andrew.
Actually, that's great.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
So obviously, you're one of the greatest producers I've ever met. You take my 4 hours of me going, "Oh my god, video games, computers, they're great," and then you make it something cohesive. And anyone who has the talent to do that needs, like, a very descriptive moniker.
One of these days, I am going to put out like a video of like I'm just going to I'll just live stream it. I'll just live stream me editing one of our panels.
Oh yeah,
or not one of our panels because we don't really cut those up, but like Rob said, one of our more produced videos where we're like taking that taking that like good content and just like, all right, let's distill it down to like the meat and bones, like cut out all the fat.
Dude, I think Casey has it right there.
That's not bad.
AV
that's
Andrew.
Not bad.
AV Andrew. I think that's the money right
Yeah.
there.
Casey, I like that.
I like that too.
All right.
Tina,
All right.
how do you keep your cats from climbing on your bookshelf?
I don't. They just
They
just climb. I have a statuary of Phantom of the Opera, and it's like I've had it forever, and it's Christine in the boat and the Phantom ferrying her.
Oh, love it.
And literally, this one when she was younger bit the head off of Eric. Made me so mad, and I was like, "How did you bite this off? Like, there's bite marks everywhere. It's like resin." If you have destructive kittens, it's just gonna, if you don't put it behind glass, and that's why we have these glass shelves, then it's just, But luckily they don't mess with my books, so they don't chew on books. I'm like, I've had dogs that chew on books, but it's the figures that I worry about. So the figures,
Yeah.
especially pricey ones, are behind glass.
I was bummed we didn't get any Breath of the Wild 2 news from the latest Nintendo Direct. What are some upcoming games that you all are excited for? I have more, but I will open up to you guys first.
On Twitter, I totally posted right before the Direct. I was like, what could this Direct possibly be about? It's got to be Breath of the Wild 2, or it's got to be like Metroid Prime 4, or maybe some Mario Kart stuff, right? So the only thing I got right was
Mario Kart.
Yeah, I got Mario Kart. I was thinking like Nintendo Kart 9. Like, no, there's no reason to release Mario Kart 9. There's no reason because there's plenty of people playing Mario Kart 8. So yeah, I too was thinking this is going to be a Breath of the Wild focused thing. But then I remember this is Nintendo.
It was just Kirby putting trucks and cars and things in his mouth.
That looks really cool.
And that was the whole thing. Not Kirby absorbing them and looking like cars, but Kirby just putting it in his mouth.
Will it fit?
Ah! Please don't screenshot that. So then I remember that this is Nintendo, and there are people like us that are like, oh my gosh, whatever Nintendo say, I'm in for. So I think what they'll do is when Breath of the Wild is ready, it'll be a Breath of the Wild focused Direct.
I can see that. Andrew, you are just recently getting into your Switch. You've been playing Breath of the Wild. So I don't know if you have anything you're looking forward to this year.
I'm still looking forward to finishing Breath of the Wild. We are so we're on the 5-year behind everybody else plan.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Right?
That's okay. I'm always a little behind.
It's kind of great, actually. Yeah, we've been really enjoying it, and so my wife and I have been playing it together with one character. It started out with me just playing and her watching, but then she got kind of comfortable with playing it too, and now she puts in way more hours than I do. And honestly, it works out well because our two playing styles combined, they're very different, but they combine very well for this particular game. So I don't know. I haven't actually looked yet to see what was announced and what's coming out soon. So I don't know, other than the teasers that we got a while ago. What was it, several months ago now?
It's been a bit since we've got anything about Breath of the Wild too.
Yeah. That's been quite a while ago. So I don't know.
Tina, what about you? Anything you're excited for the year?
I'm trying to think if there's anything that was announced that was particularly knocked my socks off, and I can't really think of anything.
So to review, there was Xenochronicles.
Right, Xenochronicles 3.
Yeah.
There's Kirby. There's
Advanced
Fire
Wars.
Emblem.
Yeah, Fire Emblem Heroes
Yep.
for 3 houses.
Yep.
Chrono Cross.
Mario So nothing that really struck my interest. Nothing that hit in indie JRPG. I'll probably stumble upon them because usually you don't really hear about it until it's released. So nothing that really piqued my interest on the latest announcement.
Yeah, I will say, and Maddie, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this too. Overall, when these directs come up, I'm like, okay, what's going to be the thing where I'm like, oh my god, and there really wasn't an oh my god with this one, other than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe getting 48 new tracks. But the thing is, I have a almost 10-year-old. When this almost 10-year-old was 2, I have a recording of her saying, Mario Kart, not Kart, Car. Hey, what's this game, baby? Mario Kart, hey. That's how old this game is. She was 2, and we're still talking about Mario Kart 8, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so there wasn't really the AAA thing that got my attention, but there's still stuff that I definitely want to buy. Like I said, Live Alive, Chrono Cross, RPGs, Advanced Wars 1 and 2, and I think we're all of the same age where we played Advanced Wars 2 and we're like, give me more. And the Grasshopper manufacturer did a version of Advanced Wars, and now we have this one, so I'm super pumped for that.
Yeah,
but it wasn't I didn't think it was a bad direct at all. I thought there was good stuff. I bought Super Mario Strikers for the GameCube the other day, so I was pumped about that too. There's good stuff, but it wasn't the thing that made me want to take off my hat and go, ah!
Yeah, the only thing I'm excited about, things I'm excited about, things that were already announced. So, of course, tomorrow I'll have Horizon Forbidden West, which, again, everything's too dark, but
oh my god, it looks so good.
I
Tonight is the
cosplay
last night we
Aloy.
will hear from you.
Horizon Horizon Zero Dawn was something that was really affected me a lot. So having the sequel of that tomorrow is very exciting. The new AI Somnium Files sequel coming out in June, July is very exciting for me because people who made the Zero Escape games. And News Pui Channel talked about Klonoa 1 and 2 remaster. I am excited about that. And I'm excited to play Earthbound in a way that is legal and available to me. But those are the big things. As far as like anything extra, that's basically on my mind.
I will say they did announce Automate some new games, so I'm interested in those.
Okay.
I just had to double check because I'm really bad with names. And I remembered that they were releasing some more Otome games. So I love Otome games. I don't think the Western market gets enough, particularly geared towards females.
We're
But
all just
Switch
waiting until
is
like
doing really
Dragon Age or Mass Effect comes out, basically when it comes to like romance and video games. Yeah.
Right. So the Switch has actually been a very good market, whereas the PSP and the Vita was like the Otome market of its day because basically no one cared. They just released a bunch and it was great. So I think Switch is becoming like edging into that market for Otome release. We're getting, it looks like 3 new ones this year. Lover Pretend, oh my goodness, I cannot pronounce this. Paradigm Paradox and Biofury Episodia 1926 will appear in fall of 2022, and the lone 2023 title is Kimi wa Yukima ni something.
Yeah.
My Japanese is not up to snuff.
That's okay.
I agree with you, Tina. The Switch has totally become the new who is behind. Okay, sexy minute behind Andrew.
That is the Rock.
You threw me off. I'm trying to talk about things when the Rock shows up.
Yeah, this is for James. This is just for James.
The Switch has exactly what I was thinking. The new PSP and the new Vita when it comes to like indie games, cool JRPGs, like little like things like that, right? Like it's totally knocked it out of the park. I agree.
I think happy early birthday, Gabriel.
Hey, happy birthday.
Hey.
Let's play Hatoful Boyfriend when? Yeah, Tina.
I mean, like I've already played it,
100%.
but I'll play it again.
Yeah, seriously.
100%. 100% it.
Listen,
okay.
I've already reserved Tina to do a let's play of Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach with me, so she's busy. Busy with me.
And I've got to help Omar move too. Apparently, apparently
I
didn't tell Heather
after. I didn't know it was next weekend, so I'll help.
Use your muscles, Tina. Use that muscle.
Hey, I was lifting some boxes of books, and Omar's like, no, I got. I'm like, you're the one with the bad back. I may be 5'1", but you're the one with the bad back.
If no one has heard, Retro Studios just updated their Twitter banner with a new Samus banner about an hour ago. Could be something, could be nothing.
It's definitely something. Like we know that Retro is working on, which is Maddie, you know this. So originally Metroid Prime 4 was announced. It was a different studio. I don't know who the studio was that was working on this initially. I don't know if it's internal or some other external studio. But then after a year and change of work, they were like, we'll give this to Retro back in Texas, in Austin, Texas. And now they're doing the heading of it. So, yeah, hopefully. And that's, again, like I said, for the Direct, I thought it was going to be Breath of the Wild or Metroid. And that was not the case. But maybe we'll see a Metroid thing like Direct, which I'd be all in for.
And hey,
Metroid
guys,
Dread was so good. Like, I need more. Give me more Samus.
And if you're watching this post live, go check out Rob's video about Metroid because he goes on and on about the things he loves. And you want to hear him talk some more about Metroid? Go check out our other video.
Thank you, Tina. I appreciate that.
I
love Metroid until I made this video.
I was actually playing it on my Switch on the what is it? I can't even think of it.
NSO, yes, Nintendo Switch Online, yes, yeah.
Yes.
What have you guys been reading lately? You've been reading anything? No pressure if you haven't.
Okay,
I have.
I'll answer first because my answer's real quick. I've been reading The Birth of an Icon, which is a Pac-Man, like how Pac-Man was developed and created and things like that. And it's been a very fascinating read. If you give me a second, I'll go grab it and just show you the box.
Sure.
Go.
Hold on a second. I gotta post this Metroid link. Let's see. right.
I have been reading
Metroid link in the comments.
webtoons.
Which ones?
Just random stuff. A couple of the new things that have shown up on like the main page of webtoons, as well as catching up on what I've been reading, like surviving romance, things like that. I've also been reading. I just read Underwater Welder as part of Old Reader New Reader on Near
That
Mint
sounds
Condition.
interesting.
Very good, and some manga stuff. So like some Yuri manga, a lot of romance manga because that's what's very comfortable for me.
Right.
It feels like a warm hug. It's just very relaxing.
Like I meant to pick up and read something. I actually picked up Fruits Basket,
Nice.
the 3-in-1, because we've got it, and I haven't read it. You know, reread it again, and I haven't read it in a long, long time. I took it into the bed with me and promptly fell asleep without reading anything. So that's how my reading at bedtime
Well,
has
you
been
probably
going.
needed to sleep, so it's okay.
I've been I have the only thing I've been reading lately is a nonfiction audiobook called Our Bastard Tongue. It is about so this is totally off topic, but it is about the some of the very like weird idiosyncrasies about the English language, like where it's come from.
That's cool.
A
How it
lot
was
of some of the
how
misconceptions.
English like pulled things from everywhere else,
Oh
and we're
my
like, we're
God,
just
yeah.
going to take this,
Yep.
and we're just going to
Yep.
take this. It doesn't go with our actual like grammar scheme that we've got going, but we're going to take this because we like this.
It's really fascinating. It's really fascinating to see how much like Celtic influence was in there, but a lot of people don't think that. And it's bizarre and really, really cool, and I nerd out on stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I'm reading right now.
Gabriel said I started reading the Deadpool omnibus last night. Yeah, that's a goal for me this year, is to read about a few characters I haven't read anything about, and Deadpool is one of them. So for this year, I'm trying to get recommendations for what Deadpool stories to read, and then talk about on either Old Reader New Reader or Fangirls of Semco.
Nice.
Go ahead, Rob.
This is the Birth of an Icon.
Oh, that's so cute.
It's humongous.
I love it.
So it talks about, like, you know, the history of the game, development, schematics, marketing.
And a dollar bill.
That's my bookmark.
Who uses money? Oh my goodness. I'm going to be like Spider-Man over there, like be like, where's his bookmarks? Let me just take these.
Yeah, so this book is really cool, really beautiful. There's a collector's edition that comes with, like, do you remember the song Pac-Man Fever? Pac-Man. There's a collector's edition that comes with that. That's over there somewhere. The other thing I've been reading is, yes, Rob actually reads The Ultimate History of Video Games.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So this bookmark is not money. This is like I love you, Daddy. Oh, how sweet. But like this is all text. But it talks about, like, you know, the history of video games from like the Pong era to like the Pokemon era. There's a volume to it. And Stephen Kent, he's written up a whole bunch of video game books and things like that. So we've been doing a lot of driving back and forth and a lot of, like, you know, travel and hanging out with folks and things like that. So, excuse me, this has been like a great book talking about the history of the thing that I love. Arcade stuff, console stuff, like engineering and marketing and just the whole gambit of like how video games came to be. So I highly recommend this book. If you love Pac-Man like I do, this one as well.
Nice. Like me some classic gaming.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes. I miss playing some Pac-Man.
Some more comments. Last I recall, Dylan Job, who directed the Warhawk revival for PS3, was the new head of development on Metroid Prime 4. That was like 2020 though, so who knows where that may stand now.
So some of these developers from Retro back in the day have done some interviews. Can I link the one? They've done interviews where they talk about, like, you know, the history of Metroid Prime 2, and 3, and some things like that. I think Dylan actually did one too as well. Check YouTube to see if he has something out there. But I would trust the team that did this, like, you know, 20 years ago. I would trust them to, like, move the legacy forward and into the new era. So if he's still on the project, what I think he still is, but, like, you know, given that I just went through the process of working on the game for years and not being able to say anything, like you're not going to know. You're not going to know, right?
Okay, let's see. Just started reading JLA Tower of Babel. Nice. Rob, how do you feel about Bioshock? Is finally turning to a movie for Netflix after years of trying? I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, so
That makes me worried.
I'm one of those things where I'm cautiously optimistic. Same thing with like Uncharted. Same thing with all these IPs. Now it could be like Tina, who loves Tina. You love Castlevania on Netflix, right?
I love Castlevania on Netflix. There's one season that I was really iffy about because of like, I mean, obviously they're taking their own artistic license towards the franchise, because that's why it's basically based off. Is it Lament of Innocent or Curse of Darkness? I'm getting my title switched around with the Forgers. Anyways, but they took their own artistic license, which kind of, I don't know, as a fan of the franchise, I didn't like the direction they were going for it. So I'm weirdly like cautious about BioShock myself because I love the franchise.
And Bioshock has a great story that could totally.
It has amazing story and amazing details with the characters, with the whole like just even before BioShock, goes into play, like that whole background story. Like, are they going to do it before? Have we gotten any like inkling of where it's going to be?
Yeah, I don't think so. So I'm with you. I'm cautiously optimistic, and but I will say that recent video game franchises turned into films have actually been pretty good. Like Sonic was good, Uncharted was supposed to be good. Like
I think Sonic was good because they listened to a lot of vocal.
Well, unless that was a media stunt, which we'll never know.
Well, yeah, that's true. That really is
true.
Good,
though.
That's giving a lot of credit to somebody.
The Witcher has been really good, and they've taken their own sort of like, and granted, they have the book to go off of, they have the video games to go off, but it's been actually surprisingly good, even though they're taking some artistic license with it as well.
So yeah, hopefully it'll be awesome. We'll see. Fingers crossed.
Discussion for intellectuals, elbow cop.
Not turned 22. So.
I read the Thor Heroes Return Volume 1 omnibus over the last 5 days. Gifted it to my supervisor today to give to her son for his 12th birthday on Monday. Good stuff, mostly. Nice. That's very sweet. I'm very jealous of people that have like geeky workplaces. Coworkers? Yeah, because I don't quite have that. I have some coworkers that are open, but it's weird. Like I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I can't be open about like my geeky part of myself at work. I can't be open about my other part of myself either, but certainly not my geeky self.
Let me put this. Is this you putting constraints on yourself because of how you may have been perceived in school or how you thought you were perceived in school and you've led that into your adult career life? Or is it because of things that have been said within your adult career life that has led you to be more closed?
I think there's an expectation depending on what kind of realm you work in and what people expect, what your like supervisors expect. And I think like if you admit that you're into sort of certain geeky things, it can look as if you were not as professional or as capable in your job. So like, for example, I could not tell my boss I have a Freddy Fazbear figure and think that she's going to respect me in any way.
Well, I also think that might be just cultural related too in some aspects.
Well, and I don't know that it is because I think a lot of my Chinese colleagues that have very cutesy things on their desk in their workplace, it's very different.
But cutesy is a completely different thing than a fandom based. Because
it's very different than cosplaying for sure. That's a whole other thing to explain to people.
I show my coworkers, like literally I showed them my Caesar clown one time for a associate that technically is above me in a sort of leadership role, and I've gotten 2 different reactions out of leadership roles. I've gotten, how did you get into this and how can my wife and I get into this? And then the other one was like, ooh, that's creepy.
Really?
And I was just like, yes. And I was just like,
my gosh.
Just strike you off my list. But she said a couple of things. I was just like, oh, you're very classist, so it's okay.
Dynamo said, my supervisor gives me with passive-aggressive emails. Beautiful. The One Piece live action is coming, y'all. Thoughts? I'm ready. Now, I know people are very against live action representation of certain properties.
Well, they've tried to
However,
get it canceled because of Cowboy Bebop.
okay, I loved Cowboy Bebop, and I'll fight a bitch. Okay, it's after hours. I can say a bitch if I want to. But
So this is a whole
Oda,
thing, though. Is it nostalgia on that argument,
no,
or is it
well,
something else?
who knows? But
I
regardless,
watched Cowboy Bebop on Netflix. I thought it was pretty good.
I
thought
liked
good.
it. Oda himself is involved with the One Piece live action. He says what goes, and if he approves it, I
Yeah,
approve it.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
trust
even Oda's, like,
I trust
filler
anything
is
that
good.
man does. Yeah,
Absolutely.
And I
absolutely.
think that
trust
when you
him.
watch things that the original creator has control over and has the lead to make directional choices within that, I think it gives us a good hope for what's going to be produced. It's often good. Whereas if there's somebody that basically is like, no, you just sold us the rights, you don't get a say in it, then I really question what's going to be produced because we've gotten a lot of
Absolutely.
stinkers that way.
Yeah, I really like to
Absolutely.
think that these producers and directors and writers, like, now that they have Otis blessing, it's like, okay, they care about the franchise as much as
Yeah.
Tina does, as much as Maddie does, as much as I do, as much as Andrew does, for that matter. Like, they care, so they're going to produce something that'll be good. Now, again, it could be we get Dragon Ball live action, and we all want to.
Oh God.
But I don't think. I think these nerdy franchises are going to be respected more than they were in the past. Even though we get Cowboy Bebop
Well,
that's
yeah.
been canceled,
Well,
but how many people are on the Cowboy Bebop petition.org to try and bring it back? Like it wasn't terrible.
And think about compare Cowboy Bebop to Dragon Ball Evolution. The person who was in charge of Dragon Ball Evolution has since come out and said, "Hey, I feel really bad because I did not do the due diligence of doing the research and respecting what these fans wanted. It was just a cash grab, so I made what I wanted based on the content instead of giving it its due diligence, respecting what the fans wanted, respecting the story. And I feel really bad about that now." And I think that's very different than what the adaptation that we're getting now. Think about Dragon Ball Evolution. Think about the Avatar movie versus the Avatar series that we're getting versus the One Piece series that we're getting. I think people are finally being like, okay, we effed up. We should actually pay attention to what these come
I
from,
don't even necessarily
and not make
think
it
it's
Chi McRoberts.
I don't even necessarily think it's like, oh, I effed up. That's my bad. I think it's who is being able to make those choices now. Because 10 years ago, literally, I think the industry, if you were a director or producer or whatever, yeah, it was a cash grab, but it was just like, oh, I'm going to make a movie based off of a kid's property, a kid's thing. And I think that although overall, it hasn't changed too much in that spectrum. I think a lot of people take manga or animated material a lot more serious. I mean, look, Vox Machina. I mean, people are taking it a little bit more serious with a sort of animated media. It's not just that's a kid's thing and that's it. We've got things like Castlevania. We've got Vox Machina. We've got more adult-oriented animation, and I think that makes people a little bit more like, oh, maybe if I do a real-life adaptation, I should take it a little bit more serious rather than trying to gear it towards kids, because a lot of times when people put their money into those older ones, and you'll hear people be like, well, we want it to make this more serious, but sometimes the studios themselves are like, oh, no, you've got to make this movie for 10 to 13-year-olds.
Yeah. And I think you're absolutely right on that, Tina. So, the guy who directed King Kong, he is a huge Metal Gear Solid fan. So, I know that whatever whatever comes out the gate, he's a huge Metal Gear Solid fan. He did coach him, was supporting him. This should respect the franchise. Or should respect the series, right? So, again, that's another thing that I'm cautiously optimistic about.
Oh, that's so nice. I was lucky. My first two supervisors were big into cartoons and comic books. One was a book editor for a few years. We still take lunches together each day, 7 years after I left the office.
Oh,
that's
awesome.
so nice. I'm very envious of people who have that community at the office. With my coworkers, I do, but I don't have that with everyone.
Right.
I have a certain level, certain title that I have to act a certain way with. Instead of being like, would you like to see my One Piece figures?
I encourage you to push that boundary just a little bit.
Yeah, I would say
they got a lot of cleavage on them.
you slowly.
Maybe
So what
another
you
one.
slowly do is you slowly introduce. Like, did I tell you guys the story of when I was worried about porch pirates? So I had some One Piece figures shipped to my office, and this is back when I first started working at the office. So I was just under one doctor.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, we had lunch that day together because we had an office meeting, and I had those packages next to me, and they're like, "Oh, what do you got there?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just my figures." And they're like, "Well, show us." And I had forgotten which figures it was, and it was my POP of Fem Law. And if you don't know this figure, like, Fem Law actually isn't wearing like a bra or anything. It's just the jacket that's open, and she's doing her thing.
Yep.
And I open it up, and immediately I was just like, so this has boobs. And like, I just saw the look on my doctor's face, and it went through like this mixture of like, I'm curious, but I'm kind of disappointed, but I'm also a little curious. Like,
I mean,
what
if
is
there's
this?
a figure you're going to introduce to your doctor, it probably shouldn't be like Fem version.
Well,
of Law.
and it was 2 figures. And so the other one, I was like, okay, this other figure, it's going to be my Nindroid. Like, it's safe, it's probably Galka-chan. No, it wasn't. It was the other. It was Smoker into Shiki's body.
Oh no! Oh
and
no!
It was also the same thing with the boobs. And I was just like, what? They're like, literally, these are the only figures that I have like this. And I was just like,
well done, Tina. Well done.
Yeah.
Well
but
done.
I'm still very professional. I was just like, yeah, hey guys, these are my ladies.
They're not
These are my
ladies.
ladies.
Okay, never mind.
These are my ladies.
Where is Dan? So, like, who showed Dan the female versions, the anime female versions of Optimus Prime and Megatron? They were gorgeous. They were gorgeous.
And fucking Dan. Sorry. You know what? I'm not gonna sorry. It's
Language.
7:50. It is nighttime. Can have like
nighttime and
transformed in his office. The closest I get is I have like a fan art of me as Wonder Woman, like this little picture on my wall, and that's like the closest I get because I'm like, no one could know. But if you look at my like, I don't know, like online presence at all, it's like, okay, this girl.
Dan, when he has a hard brief, he just goes in and transforms a transformer in his office.
I love that.
Hard brief.
I'm about to get the Horizon Forbidden West Legos and really go all out, and I'm very excited.
By the way, if anybody's curious, Dan is on a Disney cruise right now.
That's so cool.
Yes, I believe. Or they're at Disney or something like that.
I want to go on a little vacation.
You should go on vacation. You go on a vacation or a staycation.
I need to go on one of them.
Atlanta. It's not very far away.
I wish I had the time and money to do like a honeymoon.
You should do
in a
that
month from now when I have a wedding.
You'll get it.
There's nothing that makes me feel like just like Spider-Man when I hear like Dan going on these vacations and stuff like that. I'm just like, hi guys, I'm gonna be eating ramen out of this like can over here. Don't mind me.
You can still, dude. This is the thing. If you're with someone that you love, you're with people that you love, and you go some places like 10 miles away, 20 miles away, it's still a vacation. Getting a cabin, going to the city, going to Cincinnati, go to Atlanta.
Cabin, and that's been nice.
Yeah, dude. Like, some of the most fun I've ever had is when we took, like, the baby to a cabin in Gatlinburg, and we cooked, and bears were, like, trying to eat our food. It was great. Dogs, like, straight up on the porch. It's beautiful. So, all those things are true. I'm not making that up.
Just The Walking Dead, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, other than zombies, it's fine.
Here's a good question. Do you guys like going to Comic-Cons? I went to my first one last week, and congrats. We've all been to different conventions over the past year. If you guys want to talk about.
Yep. Well, first of all, Gabriel, which one did you go to? That's what I want to know. Yeah, actually, we did. So hopefully, if I can get the panel video done, editing, one of our next panel videos will be about this very topic, in fact, right? What conventions we've all been to over the last year and a half or so, when we've been able to actually go to some lately.
Yeah, the only thing I've been to was like the most recent was LexCon. I got very lucky that I got to go to C2E2 right before the world closed down.
Oh.
But like T and I had to cancel like MagFest, which is our favorite convention.
Which sucked.
up outside of DC, which is a music and gaming convention, and it's been a bit since we've been able to really enjoy stuff. I did go to Gen Con last year, which is a gaming convention, which was nice. But that's been about it.
Nice.
Yeah, for me it was I haven't done any of the, like I was going to go to PAX this year, but like, they going to shut that down. But like the last cons that I went to were the Lexington Comic Con and Scarefest in Lexington. Those are fun, but again, like it was very abbreviated. It wasn't like what I usually do when I go all weekend, all days, and I'm there all day long. It was like a small little portion that I was there. But even then, it was still good times. Good times the days I was there.
Like literally the last con I went to was MagFest of 2020, right before the world.
Yeah,
paused.
yeah.
But like I don't typically go to Comic Cons. Like I've been to Comic Cons. They're not usually my scene, and they've got a completely different feel than like or anime conventions.
Because Comic Cons are mostly about spending money to spend more money versus like anime and video game conventions, which is much more about the community and hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's much more of a vibe of just spending time together. It allows more of these like hangout spaces versus like comic conventions, which are more of just like the spaces to spend in which to spend money.
Right. So like,
especially things like MagFest, where it's very different.
Yeah. Anime conventions, video game based conventions, I'm going to be there. Comic cons, like maybe if it's local, maybe if I have friends going, but those aren't really my things. But if you're interested in the comic community, if they have, somebody that you really want to see speak, if you have a vendor that you're interested and that's your thing, definitely do. Like you can find some good deals. And Omar, if you ever want to find good deals, just take Omar along and he will haggle, and it drives my stress level up so high. Because I was there with him haggling. I can't haggle. I'm just like, okay, this is not a price I would pay for it, so I will just walk by. I'm one of those annoying customers, but Omar's like, hey man, I see you got this for like $10. I'll give you $2.50.
But see, that's the thing. That's super effective. Like there's in front of me, there's an Odyssey 2 with a bunch of games. And the dude wanted like $100. And I was like, you know what? If I can get this for 50 or 60, I'll go ahead and shoot for it, right? So I'll message the guy. I'm like, hey, can I get this for $60? And he's like, sold. I'm like, boom, done. I wasn't trying to buy an Odyssey 2 today, but I got one for $60. Yes, please. Thank you very much, right? So you got Tina. It's worth it. It's worth it.
I've only been able to haggle in China. That's about it.
Oh man,
I did put that in my grad school application. I was like, listen,
they were like,
I can haggle in Chinese.
This lady, let's go ahead and rack up the price twice as much. And
no, I bring them down. But at a comic convention, I'm like, this is fine.
Can I tell a quick haggling in China story?
Go for it.
Okay. So I'm in China. I'm at Shenzhen Street, and I'm trying to. Omar wanted some One Piece figures, and they had a
knockoffs.
Many great bootlegs.
There was a knockoff Nami figure, and the woman came at me, and she said the equivalent of like $200, and I'm like, no, and I walked away. This is me walking away.
That's the way to do it.
Like, wait, come back.
For like if it's a figure, go for 1/8 of the price.
Yeah, exactly right. So she was like, wait, come back. I'll give it to you. And then it was like, 50 equivalent $50. Like, let me think about that. No, and I walked away again. No, wait, come back. Again, I'm walking away. It came out. I got this figure for Omar for $12. Because it was a knockoff, right? I was like, Omar, $12. Here you go. Boom. I also got a $4 Rolex watch too. $4 Rolex is hot.
Is that really Rolex?
It said Rolex on it.
Man, I wish I had my bootleg Frankie up here that I bargained for us. I was so
That's downstairs, isn't it?
Yeah. I was so proud of it. That's good shit.
I see him every time I know which one it is. I'm just like,
because he's definitely
it's definitely bootleg. There's some fun wonkiness about it.
I am not playing on C2E2 this year as much as I would love to go. I'm not really planning any conventions this year, just given like the current case, the cases and everything. I just still don't feel great. C2H is the only thing I would feel comfortable with. Yeah. That's about it.
Yeah, I don't have any plans.
And LexCon's during my wedding, so I can't go.
GalaxyCon was the last one I went to.
Oh, I love Galaxy.
I guess that was in 2019, maybe?
Yeah, it's been a bit.
Or early 2020. I can't remember when it was now.
Yeah.
back in Louisville, Kentucky, or for you those of you looking on a map, Louisville, Kentucky.
No, it's pronounced Louisville.
Yeah, thank
We'll
you.
teach you.
Wait.
We'll teach y'all.
Lionheart?
Diabetes.
Lionheart, is that Lord Raptor from Darkstalkers as your icon now? Did you change that? That is.
Wait, hold on. Yes, it is. Oh, yep, because he has a guitar.
I see what you did there.
Yep, nice.
Very nice.
Lionheart, you got it. So
I guess we do only have 1 minute. So whatever you guys
wow.
gonna.
What's your
1
last
minute
question?
left.
What's your last question?
Do it.
I apologize if I've talked too much. I have had a lot of Pomeretta.
I have heard Cuphead, the show, was not great, but I don't want to listen to all the reviews. I want to actually watch it for myself. So I'm going to give it a shot. The game.
Yeah.
The animated series.
Right.
The way they did the art on that and actually did the game is amazing. I love stylistically that would have taken, that just takes forever, but I'm so happy they did that.
Yeah, same.
Okay, Noir Wolf, I am so glad you said this. I remember talking to this person. Okay, this for me. This was the first time I'd ever been like seen at a comic convention and said, "Hey, I know you from Near Mint Condition." I was just like, I was so taken away that I didn't even have the wherewithal to say like thank you or anything like that. And I immediately walked away and was like, "Oh my God, I was such a jerk." Not like a jerk, but I was just like so absent-minded from this conversation.
Yeah.
I wish I could go back. This is so awesome that I get to say this now. Like, thank you so much. That was so cool. And I'm glad you watched, and like, that was really cool to me. 2.5 years later, I get to finally have this closure.
Sometimes when that happens, you don't like, it's never happened to me, but when it happens, and I've seen that happen to other friends, like you don't know what to do in the moment because you're not used to that. Like you're not used we're just normal people.
I was I was especially blown away because this is
Rob,
this is like, before this channel,
you're
right?
normal.
This was before
Yeah.
Collective.
I'm not normal.
Happens a lot.
Me?
This was just Near Mint Condition, and I was like never on camera. So when they spotted Dan, I was like, "Yep, of course." And then they're like, "And Andrew," and I was like,
Well, I understand because I
What?
also spotted Dan as a fan.
"Yeah, right."
And I was like,
like,
"Hey,
"Let's
Dan, what's up? Good to see you." And he's like, "I don't know who you are." And I was like, "Oh, shit. We've
The
never
last
met
time
in
happened to me
person.
was at
I've
the-
just watched the channel."
Well, see,
Last time
I
happened to
have
me
this
was the-
thing. Go ahead, Rob.
I was just gonna say the last time it happened to me was at the Louisville Arcade Expo, and these guys came up to me. It was like Near Mint Condition. I was like, "Thanks for watching. I appreciate you." Took pictures with them, and then we went and played games. It was beautiful.
See, that's a good way to handle it. I have like secondhand embarrassment. Like Maddie does this really sweet thing. She's like, any convention I go to with her, she's like, "Have you met my friend Tina? She's white cat cos," and like she does this thing, and I'm just like, "Hi, no thank, no words. Hi, I'm gonna just wander over here and be really awkward."
Yep.
So
Good
if
night,
you meet me
Josh.
in person, I don't mean to do any, like I'll wander off and I'll be like, "I'm sorry, I have social anxiety. I'm just gonna walk over here."
Yeah, there's a little bit of that too. Yeah, for sure.
When is Near Mint Convention happening?
Oh, it has to happen.
Man, we don't have that skill.
Oh,
you come over to my basement.
has to
Omar's
happen.
basement. No, why am I volunteering in
Omar,
my
let's-
basement?
It's
Let's
right
volunteer
here.
with
Woman.
Omar's.
Omar's
There you go.
basement.
No one's basement is going to happen.
Omar's
Oh,
new
also,
basement.
News Police channel. I saw you talking about the Odyssey, like in the voice modulator and stuff. Like, dude, you are hitting the fields right there. You're hitting the fields with deals. So. All right, folks,
Nice.
It is time.
it's time.
I think it's time to call it. This has
Thank
been a
you
lot
all.
of fun.
Good catching
Yeah,
up
Yeah,
with
this is
everyone.
great.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
so-
joining the
so-
chat, guys. We really appreciate you all participating, hanging up with us late at night or early in the morning, wherever time zone that you are. We really appreciate it. We really do.
Yep, absolutely. And if my camera will stay here for a second. So for anybody who doesn't know, we're doing this every third Thursday of the month, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Hopefully that works for most people. And if not,
Now that I have it on my Outlook, yes.
yes, hopefully that works for most people, including the people you see on the screen at the moment. Just kidding. Love y'all.
Nor Wolf,
Love you.
I put it together. We did talk at Gumbo Yaya. Like, I got it. Now I know who you're talking about.
Dang,
Yep.
are you in town?
Really?
Don't
In
say what
Lexington?
town we're in. Tina!
I
We
will
don't-
open my mouth and
Give it
Yeah,
away.
we
push
don't
Keep
you
your
say
in
what
it.
location.
town we're adjacent to.
Very curious now.
What if people find us in real life?
Don't.
Oh my god. You can find me at the TJ Maxx.
I'll be in the Petco right
Oh
near.
God.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All
All right.
right, folks.
Anyways, hey guys, if you like what we're doing here, please subscribe, smash that notification, and do us a favor, leave some comments. We like to respond most often, particularly Andrew and Rob. Don't laugh at me. Why are you laughing at me?
I'm drunk, Tina.
I'm just making my camera move now.
Cheers.
Okay,
Please stop.
guys, this is
All
a
right.
hot mess. We love you guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
Have a night.
I'm hitting the button.
Cheers.
Goodbye.
guys.